Hi, this video is going to be about tarot cards, which some people call tarot cards, but tarot is the correct pronunciation. But, call them whatever you're comfortable with. These are mine. They come in this small box with a book. It was one of those, gift things that come in the bookstores. These little gift packages. I don't know if they still have them, but it's the Mary Hanson Roberts deck, and on the front it says "To All Believers," and the cards, well, on the back it has an example of what the cards look like. This is the Nine of Rods, and the cards are all very small. As you can see, they are the size of my fingers in height. But this is my tarot set, and I want 3 more decks, even though I don't have any other tools of divination, or at least not the usual kinds, because you can use pretty much anything for divination, in case that wasn't clear. But yeah, I love this deck. I do readings with it, and the book has little summaries in it, of the, meanings of each card, and they're very, basic. So, normally, what I've been doing is I'll, get my first impression of the card by looking at it, which is usually right, and then I'll look it up in this book, and then I will look it up online later, because I'm still learning all the card meanings, because it's been so long. I've had this deck for about 10 years though, but for most of that time I was not using it, and it was just stashed away. It's just terrible, but yeah, I really like tarot cards because I'm really into art, and the thing is, there's so many. Sorry, I have hair in my eye. There's so many with different art styles, and they're beautiful. And there's some decks that are like tarot decks, but they're not, the major and minor arcana. They're different things. They're called oracle decks, I think. And so if you ever see something called an oracle deck, that's probably not with the rods and swords and everything. It's probably its own art and characters. But those can be just as good for divination. They'll just come with their own book and stuff. But the book I have also comes with different spreads, and it tells you where to put the cards and what each position means. So that's a thing. But since I've gotten back into my whole divination things, most of the time I just pull one card. And what I'll do is I'll just shuffle the deck for a little bit, thinking of what I want to know, and then when it feels right, I'll take the card from the top of the deck, usually. Or sometimes the card will just fall out. There was actually, the other night, I think the last reading I did, I was trying to think of how to even formulate my question, but it was on a specific topic, but I just couldn't word it right, and I was starting to hold the cards in my hands and not even shuffle them, because I wasn't I didn't have a solid question yet, and then this card just jumped out at me. Actually, it was a couple cards, but I just picked the one on top, and it fit my situation perfectly. So that happens. I know some people, if a card jumps out, they'll just like look at it, acknowledge it, and put it back in, and then pick like an actual card, and that may work for them. But the cards that have jumped out for me have always been extremely relevant. So yeah, you know, your mileage may vary. I think everybody reads differently because I feel like, you know, it's part of you how you do it. But I just like keeping it simple. I feel like large spreads are, at least for any of the things I would ask about, unnecessary. Like, there'll be like a 10 card spread or something, and I don't need that much information, usually. I feel like a couple cards, like 3 card spread, is a thing that can work. But that's me. If somebody wanted me to do a reading and they wanted a large spread, I would do that. But for me, I just usually do 1 card. And 1 card spreads are pretty good. So I'm putting the cards back in the box because I want to keep them protected. The box is actually kind of beat up, so I'm probably not going to be able to use it forever. But one thing that they do recommend for tarot cards is try to do a reading like every day for practice. Just like, you know, reading to, you know, I don't know. I'm sure you can come up with a question, but maybe just be like, what should I like keep in mind for today or something like that. But yeah, so what was I gonna say? Oh, also there's like a ton of tarot resources out there. There's a site called like the Free Tarot Network or something. And you can sign up there and become a like free tarot reader with like a mentor for practice. And you'll like do tarot readings for people for free. And I've been considering getting into that for practice, because that could be good. I have done readings for other people. I've done a reading for my one friend, who was like having relationship issues, like, you know, he's using dating website, and, you know, there were girls who, you know, were interested and then would like, you know, stop talking to him after a while. And like, he's a good guy. It wasn't like he was being a creep or anything, but so then I drew the 6 of Pentacles. I think it was 6, maybe 5. But the one where the guy's like toiling in the farmland and he's got these pentacles. It's like the fruits of his efforts and stuff. And I also pulled the Hermit card. So I gave him a reading based on those, which is that, you know, it's a time of introspection for him, and, you know, he should always remember to focus on himself as the top priority. And he's been putting a lot of work into, you know, seeking a relationship, but, you know, it hasn't been working out for him yet. But eventually it will. He just needs to give it time. But, you know, until then, don't, you know, focus on that more than himself. So that's, you know, pretty much it. As far as I remember, it was like a couple weeks ago, so it's kind of vague in my memory. But it was something to that effect. And, yeah, I think that there's a lot of things that people can do with tarot cards. They're definitely currently my preferred method of divination. There are a lot of methods of divination, like pretty much anything you can think of, you could probably divine with, but the main ones are like tarot cards, pendulums, scrying, runes I want to get runes. I really do, but I don't have any yet, so maybe someday. But yeah, for now, tarot is a thing, and even if you have a tiny little deck like me, you know, with art that you don't really care about, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's good art, but it's just not, you know, some other art I've seen has been like way more like powerful to me. But even if you have like a little deck, it's still something you can work with and, you know, get a lot of relevant information from. But like, there's a lot more to tarot than just like, oh, you know, you pull cards and then you look it up what it means, because well, looking stuff up is perfectly acceptable for beginners and, you know, even, you know, people who are like kind of in the middle. If you really want to be like a tarot expert, you're aiming to not have to look things up. You have to memorize like all 78 cards. And yeah, there's a lot of meanings, like each of the suits in the minor arcana are like, their numbers reflect the major arcana. So like a 2 of like rods would reflect the 2 in the major arcana, and I don't know what that is because I'm like not an expert yet. I should know that. I know 0 is the Fool. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, I hope this helps, and if you're interested in tarot cards, I am like, go get them, you know, thumbs up. Yeah, definitely. But, you know, you don't have to, like, hash out a lot of money to get a deck. You can get, like, a basic one, but you should get one that you like, feel resonates with you, unless you're, like, really strapped for cash, then, you know, get whatever's cheapest if you feel that's right for you to make the choice. But yeah, I hope this has helped and given some insight to tarot stuff. Like I said, there's a lot of information out there, so yeah, I was overwhelmed at actually how much people can do with tarot and how many meanings they can, you know, find within the cards. But yeah, it's all out there, so it's a very interesting medium. But I hope this video helped, and thank you for watching.